Okay, so I took a quick look at your model. There's a few things I'll help you with initially. I'm not exactly sure what your question is regarding this edge curve you're having trouble with. I don't know if you're trying to create a new edge. Maybe it's this one over here to attach to the model. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just gonna ignore this part over here because I'm a little confused on that. I'm just gonna delete it for now, just to show you this. One thing I noticed is that if I go to shaded here to look at your model, you haven't yet grouped these yet. And I grouped them myself, but then I found some naked edges, and that means that when you start modifying these joined elements with naked edges, they're not exactly joined as one surface, so you're going to have problems, and that's going to be a problem when you 3D print, because there will be holes in that model. So how do I find that out is that I go over here to show edges, and then click on this model here, and then hit enter. I selected all three of those elements and hit enter. And if I select all edges, I have 27 naked edges, and we want 0 out of 33, so that's really bad. So if I were to join these three pieces just by typing join, selecting them all, and then typing join, and then reanalyze this by add objects here, that's good. I got rid of a lot of those naked edges. I have 5 now instead of 27 or whatever it was. But that's still not good enough. So instead of joining this, I'm going to undo here. So we have 3 elements again. I'm just going to delete these edges. So we're back to your extrusion. And now I want to select this, and I'm just going to type in cap. And that caps the whole object, and makes it one surface. And then if I reanalyze, I've got 18 total edges, no naked edges. So that's what we're looking for there. So now knowing that, you can start modifying this model here. And I'm not going to look for the exact shape of this camera. That'll get into some advanced modeling. And we're short on time here, so if you can just soften these edges and make the general shape of the camera, and then add as much detail as you can in that sphere, I think that's going to be just fine. So that being said, maybe we'll just start filleting some of these edges, rounding some of these edges off, and you can do that by selecting this model, or deselecting. Just type in fillet and then choose fillet edge, and now I can select an edge on here, and I want to wrap all these edges. I want to fill them all at once on the front side here. So I'm going to say chain edges. Just click on this option up here and then select an adjacent edge, and it'll wrap all those around. So now I'm dealing with all these edges at once. Now I'm going to hit enter because I've selected those edges, and now radius is set to 1 by default, and we're just going to leave that there because in the next part of this tool we're going to modify what this is going to be, and then we can see visually what it's going to be. We can just move it. So I'm just going to hit enter again, leave that, and now you can see that this curve, this is a 1 unit radius. Okay, so I'm going to tighten that. I don't want it to be that large. I'm going to start moving this, and you saw this in the water bottle tutorial. If you just type in 2.2 while you're still dragging, I typed in 0.21, 0.2, then hit enter, or just let go of your mouse button. I'm going to do the same thing with this edge, 0.2, let go of my mouse. Okay, so now let's see what that does. Now if I hit enter, okay, we've got one edge that did not like that. Okay, so we're going to have to try that again. It's too large, or this angle here is too sharp. Retry this, fillet edge, select my edge, go to chain edges, enter, enter. Let's do 0.15. 0.15. Okay, it's still too tight here. We might have to move that edge. Let's try this one more time. Wrong tool, fillet edge, chain edges. If I try fillet edge, grab the top one, chain edges this way instead of this way, and then it's focusing on this round. Let's see if that helps at all. Okay. It's interpolating what edges are going to be. I'm going to move this one over here, 0.15, 0.15, and then drag this one down here where it's most conflicting, and we're going to go even smaller on this one, maybe a 0.1. Let's see if it'll accept that. Nope, still giving us problems. I'm going to undo again. Okay, I'm going to try a different tool. Apply edge softening. Okay, I'm going to select the object, press enter. Let's see what happens here. Softening to be 0.1 instead of 1. That's probably good. Let's try that. Okay, it rounded all these edges on the back side, on all edges, 0.1. Now it accepted that, so that's good. Looks like we got some conflict here. We got some holes there. We're gonna have to fix those. Now one thing we can do, let's see, it's on both front and back. Okay. I'm going back to fillet edge because when I did this initially, before I started recording, there wasn't any problem here with this fillet edge. So I'm going to try one more time. This is just kind of how things go sometimes. You just got to experiment until you find, until you find the right solution. When we rounded the soft edges, we got good solution with 0.1, so let's try that instead of 0.15. Still.